Dear friends, welcome to this week's virtual Drasha. This week we have the incredible privilege to Parshas Mikeytz. And not only will we be Zochem Eretz Hashem to usher in the beautiful holiness and sanctity of Shabbos, but we'll have an additional layer of holiness, Chanukah, Shabbos Chanukah. Our homes will be filled with two kinds of light, the light of the Shabbos candles, the light of the Neros Chanukah, which just combined will create a dramatic and beautiful and magnificent, multi-layered spiritual illumination for ourselves, for our families, halai for all of Klal Yisrael. But I want to share with you something really incredible from the beginning of the parasha. Parashas Mikeytz begins with the dreams of Paro. Paro has these strange dreams. Large cows and skinny cows, the skinny cows swallowing up the large cows, thicker sheaves and thinner sheaves of wheat, the thinner sheaves swallowing up the larger sheaves, and Paro has no idea what to do. His kitchen cabinet tries to interpret it, but no one is able to, and of course we know Yosef rises to prominence. Yosef, the interpreter of dreams, comes along and explains to Paro the 7 large cows represent 7 years of plenty, the 7 lean cows, 7 years of famine. And again, Egypt is about to encounter an incredible windfall, incredible bounty, but it's all going to be lost during the years of famine, so you better prepare now. And of course, Yosef doesn't only offer an interpretation, but Yosef offers a solution. Yosef is appointed as the viceroy Tzafnas Paneach and becomes one of the most influential people in the civilized world during his time. And although the focus is often on Yosef during these parashiyos, and Yosef is an incredible role model. Yosef teaches us how to deal with adversity. Yosef teaches us how to deal with setback. Yosef teaches us how to navigate in sometimes alien circumstances and situations. But I want to draw your attention to the opening phrase of the parasha. Mikeytz shnasayim yamim. It was at the end of 2 years. Uparo cholein. Paro was having a dream. Vine omed ala yar. And Paro was standing by the banks of the river. This sets the stage for the dream of Paro. The great tzaddik Rav Moshe Michal of Biala Rebbe, who was one of the primary Talmidim, one of the primary students of the Kotzker, interprets this phrase in a dramatic way that provides, I think, such an overwhelming life lesson. The Rebbe actually gave this interpretation towards the end of his life, and he said as follows: Mikeytz shnosayim yamim. Sometimes in life, a person comes to the end of his days. Remember, the Rebbe himself, as I just mentioned, delivered this insight as he realized that his life was coming to an end. You know, sometimes you look back at your life and you realize, Vayhimi kish nasayim yamim, keshamagia adam leketz yamavu shnosav. I'm coming to the end. I'm coming to the end. I recognize that, again, more of life is behind me than in front of me. And what happens? There's this startling revelation. Uparo cholem. Now, again, we translate it as Paro's dreaming. But the Rebbe said like this: Paro, the Lashon of Paro, of para, also means to uncover something. To uncover something. What happens? Sometimes a person gets to the end of life, Paro cholem, and it's revealed that the whole thing was just a dream. Meaning what? Shekal chayav chalam gadol achar v'zavak. It's what happens. That sometimes, by the way, the Rebbe understood it was that sometimes that I look back in my life and I realize that I kind of walked through it. I wasn't really awake. The whole thing was just a dream. Or I had so many incredible dreams and so many beautiful dreams and goals and aspirations, but they still remain unmaterialized. Uparo cholem. It turns out it is revealed that the whole thing was a dream. Why did I spend so much time schluffing, sleeping through life? Why did I fall asleep at the proverbial wheel? Why didn't I do more? Why didn't I accomplish more? All of the beautiful dreams that were rattling around in my head, in my heart, and my soul, all of those years, why did they just remain dreams? And furthermore, Vihine omed al hayar. Remember again in the pasuk, the way Paro was standing at the banks of the river. And I look back at my life, and in front of me is this incredible sea of accomplishment, sea of potential, sea of beautiful accomplishment. And I only stood by the shore. I only stood by the banks of the river. I never ventured forward into the sea of accomplishment. So, dear friends, you hear the profundity, right? The pasuk is, it was at the end of 2 years. Paro has a dream. Paro cholem, he's dreaming. Vine omed ala yoar, and he's standing by the banks of the river. And the next part of the story is the cows start coming out. The Rebbe says there's such a profound life message. Sometimes I come to the end of life. Or an end of life doesn't even have to mean deathbed, but just like I'm in a retrospective state of mind and I'm thinking about the life that's behind me. And what happens? Paro cholem, and it's revealed that the whole thing has been a dream. Unmaterialized dreams, talking about dreams, dreaming about dreams, doing everything but actualizing the dreams. Sleepwalking through life. And what? Vine omad aliyar. And I could see all the beautiful accomplishment. There's a sea. There's a river of accomplishment right in front of me. There's a river of greatness right in front of me. But I'm just standing by the banks. I'm just standing, feet nestled in the sand, never having found the courage to move myself forward. What a profound and overwhelming, reflective and retrospective insight. The Rebbe Bialu lamenting the fact that all too often in life we sleepwalk through life. We schluf through life. Or, even if we're not asleep, we're dreaming beautiful dreams, grand dreams, incredible dreams, multifaceted dreams, multi-year dreams, but they only just remain that, dreams. And for whatever the reason, they never materialize, they never launch. So what do we do? What do we do? Because Chavra, none of us wants to have that moment where I look at my life like that. And even if I do look at my present, past like that, I want to change that going forward. How do I waken myself out of the life slumber? How do I stop dreaming and start doing? How do I stop sleepwalking through life and really start living? How can I stop standing at the banks of the river of accomplishment and instead find the courage to wade in, to walk in, to swim through? And amazingly enough, I think the answer to this is really found in the beautiful Yom Tov of Chanukah. There is an incredible insight by the great tzaddik Rav Shlomo Eiger of Lublin. Rav Shlomo Eiger of Lublin, Hashem Yikom Damo, was murdered by the Nazis in Machshma V'Zichram. Explains something so beautiful. The Rebbe explains that there is a strong connection between the Yamim Noraim, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Chanukah. And the Rebbe says like this. He says, if someone's sleeping, so imagine the following scenario, right? I have a friend. It's always about my friend, not about me. I have a friend. His name is Ruvain. And Ruvain is sleeping. And Ruvain needs to get up. It's time to get up. Ruvain's stuff to do. And now I am vested with the responsibility of waking up Ruvain. So the Rebbe says that there are two different ways. There are two different ways in which a person could go ahead and wake up someone who is sleeping. You could either make a very loud noise, and the person is startled, awakened, okay, they get going. Or you could turn on the lights, create illumination, remove the darkness, and the darkness will cause the person to wake up. And the Rebbe Rav Shlomo Eiger of Lublin says so beautiful. He says that if you think about this is the dynamic of Yamim Noraim and Chanukah. He says the avodah of Yamim Noraim is, as the Rambam says in Hilchos Shofar, he says, Uru Yeshenim Mishinaschem. Our greatest challenge in life is, as we just said before, it's not that we sin, it's that we slumber. The problem is not with sin, the problem is with slumber. Everybody sins, and everybody commits averos. In Chevra, as long as you're breathing, you're going to keep committing averos. The avod is, after I commit an averos, to do tshuva, is to turn myself around, to decrease the frequency of the averos, or maybe to stop doing certain things, even though inevitably I'm going to end up start doing other things. But of course I'm going to sin. The greatest challenge in life is not sin, it's slumber. It's that I fall asleep, so comes Rosh Hashanah, comes Yom Kippur, who says, okay, let's wake up. Chavra, let's wake up. And once you wake up, there's no telling what you could accomplish, right? You ever have that feeling where you wake up one morning, I don't know, it happens for different times in life, and you're like, this is the day I'm going to conquer the world. This is the day I'm going to do all the things I've been talking about. Today is the day. Well, comes Rosh Hashanah, who says, my tired children, my beautiful children, just wake up. Just wake up. And so the shofar comes along to wake us up. And there's the shvarim, and there's the trua, and there's the tekiah, and there's the combinations, and there's all different types of sound. Why? Because different sounds and different combinations awaken different things inside of us. But the entire avodah is to wake up. And then we wake up at Rosh Hashanah, and we're inspired, and Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, and Hoshana Rabbah, and Shmini Atzeres, Simchas Torah, all incredible. Then the winter comes, and I fall back asleep. Because such is the nature of man, to fall asleep. Man is made of matter, and matter is naturally at rest until acted upon. I fall back asleep. It comes down to Yom Chanukah. Says Shlomo Eiger of Lublin. And what happens? The Rebbe Shalom says, okay, let's turn on the lights. Let's turn on the lights. Okay, you fell back asleep. The shofar woke you up. But you know what happens? If you sit down for too long, you lay down on the couch on a Shabbos afternoon, you wake up and it's Tuesday. Right? So you fell asleep. You fell asleep after Rosh Hashanah. Okay, you fell asleep after Yom Noraim, after Shmini Atzeres, after Simchas Torah. Let's turn on the lights and get you back up. Says the Rebbe so beautifully. Chanukah is the Ribono Shel Olam turning on the lights, asking us, pleading with us, begging us to wake up. Don't live a life of chalomos. Don't live a life of dreams. Dreams are good as long as you execute. Dreams are powerful as long as you perform. But dreams are dangerous if all I do is consistently dream. The Yom Tov of Chanukah comes and the Rebbe Shalom flips the light. Time to wake up. Good morning. Good morning. There's a whole beautiful river of accomplishment in front of me. There are untold possibilities for who and what I could become and what I could accomplish. All I have to do is stay awake long enough to allow those things to happen. This is the incredible power of the Shabbos Chanukah, Parshas Mikeytz, and Chanukah coming together. Because as I mentioned before, this week, we're going to have more light in our lives than ever. Because come Shabbos afternoon, we're going to kindle our menorah and then light our Shabbos candles. At no other time throughout the year is there more light in the room, is there more light in the house, is there more light in my life than this Shabbos. On Parshas Mikeytz, where the Rebbe Biala lamented the fact that sometimes we end up sleepwalking through life. We end up just dreaming and never executing. We stand by the bank of the river of accomplishment without ever having the courage to go through. This Shabbos, the lights are on. This Shabbos Chanukah, the lights are on. And if the lights are on, then we have an incredible opportunity to stop slumbering, to stop shluffing, to stop sleepwalking, to wake up, and to accomplish something great. Maybe Zochem Yertz Hashem, to come out of our slumber. Uru Yishenim Mishinaschem, His Oreri. Time to wake up. Time to be alive. Time to be energized. And if we could just open our eyes long enough, we will see that great river of accomplishment in front of us. That river which contains untold possibilities about who we can become, what we can accomplish. We should be Zochem Yertz Hashem, to bask in the light, to take in the light, to appreciate the light, and allow that light to guide us in accomplishing great things going forward. To use that light to guide us into wading into the sea of accomplishment, and may we be Zochem Yertz Hashem, to never come out. Wishing everyone a good night of Shabbos and a beautiful Shabbos Chanukah.